Hey everybody, Brian Good here. An update here on the stormy weather we'll have for the next couple days, and of course what Bill is going to do once he gets closer to us for the weekend. Some changes there. First off, the severe risk for this afternoon. We are in the marginal category, slight risk east of us. We'll go into more detail on that in a second. Also, we're in the slight risk in yellow here for a good chunk of our area for tomorrow, as well as marginal risk in our far southern counties. And we'll stay in that slight risk, looks like, even into Thursday. Not an outbreak scenario, just enough wind energy aloft to produce potential for some damaging wind gusts, but a lot of torrential downpours developed in the next couple of days. We need the rain. We don't want it all at once, but we need the rain, so it's not exactly all bad news. But the wind threats, what we really got to watch out for. All right, 88 right now in Louisville. We got a thunderstorm moving in toward the sensor there. I think we did hit 90, though. We were 89 last hour. We likely touched it just before this shower did develop as I'm looking down at our cameras, heading over toward the airport. 88 in E-Town, but you see in Bedford 77 because of some rain-cooled air. Heat index got up into the mid-upper 90s a few moments ago. We've eased somewhat now in Louisville, 93. 94 is what it feels like in Munfordville. So here's the radar. You see these downpours popping up on the radar itself. A couple areas we are watching, and we'll handle this in the grab and go videos across Orange County, Indiana, and southern areas of Lawrence. Got some thunderstorms developing over the metro, and new development now around E-Town and points off to the south. I'll zoom in a little more here so you can see some of the activity around the Louisville area. Again, downpours now beginning to pop, some lightning likely with that as well as it moves across central parts of Jefferson County. The Highlands, J-Town will be next in line, Hurstbourne Lane. Strong gusty storm there north of Paoli. This one's tracking a little more southeast. Got to watch that direction of movement like that. That could enhance some of the wind fields in northern Orange County. We'll be watching that one. And then other activity into Grayson County, very noisy in Grayson County, down into portions of Edmonson County and Barron County, Kentucky, with some lightning and thunder picking up there in the next few moments. All right, so here's the scenario. We've got this belt of energy moving through the Ohio Valley, pretty much right along I-64. That is why there's a marginal risk, but there's better wind fields aloft, more than 30, 35 knots in some cases in West Virginia. And there's going to be a watch issue today. It'll likely be there. Wind fields not as brutal here, but it's the instability that could lead to a few gusty wind potential events later on this afternoon, if not very soon. As far as tomorrow, there is a better chance for some wind energy aloft, so that's why we've got a slight risk out. Not a widespread event, but a few of these could produce a warning or two, and then another wave of energy moves in Thursday. Same scenario, although Thursday could get quite hot, and that could really enhance some of the downdraft potential there. So here's Bill. Got a tornado warning out east of Galveston right now, and we are tracking the landfall. It just took place. It's still kind of in the the islands there that kind of are the leading edge here, the waterways of landfall in Texas, but it's moving into southeast Texas as I am talking. Got winds about 50 to 60 miles per hour. We've had some high wind gusts about 60 to 70 miles per hour offshore. It's moving inland though, and it's going to track northwest for a while and then north. And it's all going to be about this high pressure. It's going to create a flow here around it, which is the ring of fire. And Bill is going to first track northwest on the edge of that high, and then it's going to follow the path of that ring of fire right back into the Ohio Valley. Now, the latest model trends, and here we go with how things are going to play out for us. First off, as we head into Wednesday, as we mentioned, there's a chance for a belt of energy to move aloft here, maybe some damaging wind gusts as we head into early Wednesday morning, and then a chance again Wednesday afternoon. Could have another round of nocturnal, nighttime event, heavy downpours, late Wednesday night, early Thursday. Overall, Thursday is trending mainly dry for most of the day, and if that's the case, it could get back in the 90s again on Thursday before some robust thunderstorms roll in Thursday night. So we'll watch that for Thursday. And then here we go. Here comes Bill. This is the NAM, saying the circulation of Bill will be in southern Illinois and then track right across Kentucky into West Virginia. Two things to watch for. First off, the track. The ring of fire will determine that. At this point, it's going to be very close to the I-64 will be the track of this. The heaviest of rain will likely fall along, if not just north of that actual path. But in the southeast section, there's going to be enough shear taking place and enough turning of wind. There could be some damaging wind gusts and perhaps some brief, weak tornadoes that could develop on the southeast corner of that path. That is something to watch as well. Timing's everything. If it comes to a peak heating especially, that threat may be a little more realistic. Right now, the speed on this is slowed down from earlier. It's trying to move it in late Friday night into midday Saturday and then off to the east. So the timing may help reduce our severe threat if that holds. But I have to stress, it still could be enough, produce some damaging wind gusts. But right now, Friday night and Saturday, it looks to be the main passage of Bill The remnants of Bill, nothing like Ike, by the way, at all. This is not even close to the scenario. It's just the potential for some heavy rain, maybe some gusty storms. And rainfall amounts are going to vary depending on the path. The models are picking out 4 to 6, even 7 inches of rain along the north of the path, and then it becomes more iffy depending on the thunderstorm coverage on the southern side of that low itself. Here's the GFS. It's picking up in the idea. Again, this is a grand total of rainfall all the way through, by the way. Well, this is all the way through Friday morning. It does extend all the way out to about 2 inches, by the way, as we head into Friday night and Saturday. And here's the European model, about 2 inches, 2.5 to 3 potential along and north of I-64, and then more spotty, heavier amounts in the southern flank here. But again, that path has to be figured out when it comes to the heavy rain potential and the potential for anything severe as well. 2 factors to watch. Look at the soundings here from the NAM. Looking at the ground level up, it's hard to read this, but the PWAT's 2.35. The PWAT is the precipitable water. That's the amount of water that a particular thunderstorm can produce if it sets still 1 hour in your backyard. Nearly 2.5 inches of rain. That is very tropical air mass that we're talking about. So that's why these are going to be very heavy downpours. I don't see a whole lot of lightning really in this scenario in the heavier rain path, but in the thunderstorm side on the southern flank maybe. But along the core of the heaviest of rain, very little, if any, lightning. But I mentioned that southeast corner, and here's the sounding for Louisville, and it's hard to read again. I apologize. But the helicity is getting up there as well as the EHI, so there is some turning. It's hard to read here, but the winds are about due south at the very ground level, and then they turn more west as you go up in the atmosphere. So there is some directional shear that takes place on the southeast flank of the remnants of Bill. So it is worth watching for, again, maybe a weak tornado, not a big tornado threat here, but more importantly, maybe some damage and wind gust that could pass through. But the only saving grace right now I see from that would be the timing. If it holds to be late Friday night and Saturday, that would reduce some of the instability there for that idea. But all right, that's how it looks today. So we got a couple rounds of gusty days of thunderstorms here for not only this afternoon, but for Wednesday, Thursday, and then as we head into Friday night and Saturday, we've got the remnants of Bill. I will say as we head into Sunday, we likely will bounce back up in the 90s. So Sunday looks better than Saturday when you're planning out your weekend. That's the way it looks now, unless the timing on Bill changes, but that's the way it looks. And then we have another front Monday and Tuesday that may give us another round of thunderstorms. All right, much more on all this mess coming up today, beginning at 5.